Hi beautiful ones, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And today I'm going to be talking about how to maintain healthy breasts. I'm going to give you my 7 top tips. However, there are more ways to help you to maintain healthy breasts. When you click in the description, there is a link to one of the videos I created about a year or 2 years ago, and it's just telling you my experience with having a cyst in my left breast and how I was able to dissolve it, and I have no more issues, knock on wood, with that. So my mammograms have been fine, but I'm just going to go over at least 7 tips that you can start today to help to maintain healthy breasts. I'm Andrea Gonzalez, and if you are new here, go ahead and help me out and click on the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you don't miss a video that I put out. So the first one is you want to avoid high fructose corn syrup. You will notice that in majority of your fruit drinks. You also can find it in some of cough syrups as well. It would be in sodas. So that is one chemical that you want to avoid because it is man-made and it's genetically modified and it's extremely destructive to the human body. So you just want to make sure that you avoid it and make sure that you are reading the labels, because it's hidden in so many things, especially snacks. Any snacks that you give to your children, I find, like in, oh my gosh, what is that one? The gummy bears, just several candies that you like to snack on. Make sure you read the labels and avoid it as much as possible. The second one is avoid trans fat. They can block the action of good fats and damage blood vessels, and it also can increase the risk of cancers. So look out for those man-made artificial hydrogenated fats labeled partially hydrogenated oil. And that is another one that is hidden, especially. That's why I tell some people, if you can avoid it, avoid anything with a barcode. You want to try and focus on eating more whole foods. So box foods have barcodes, even canned foods. Canned beans are okay. Make sure you rinse them off. But you really want to make sure that you avoid trans fats. It's hidden, especially in your pastries and danishes and all that good stuff. You know, all the stuff that tastes good, it's in there. So avoid it as much as possible. Number 3, you want to avoid alcohol, or at least limit your alcohol consumption. So all types of alcohol can, what it does, it circulates high levels of bad estrogen in the body, and drinking more than 1 alcohol beverage per day has a direct correlation with cancer risk. So you want to limit it to at least 4 or less per week, or at least 1 per week. Yes, I'm sorry, if you like to drink your red wine, it's also the same thing in red wine. Red wine, there's numerous studies that it has positive benefits, but still, any type of alcohol, it can increase your risk. And also I wanted to add that my mother passed away from pancreatic cancer, and drinking alcohol can increase your chances by 50%. So you want to keep that in mind. I'm not saying that you will get pancreatic cancer, but it's known to increase your chances, especially if you've had a close relative that has passed away from it, or it's just genetic. It's in your genetics in your family. So you want to be mindful of that as well. The next one is you want to drink green tea. I absolutely love green tea. I used to be a caffeine drinker. I used to drink 3 cups of coffee or anything with caffeine in it 3 times a day. And I used to go to a 7-Eleven. They had this blueberry coffee that I absolutely love, let me tell you. And if I was able to eliminate caffeine, I know that you can. I needed my caffeine, but I started to develop heart palpitations, and I also started getting more nervousness. I could not sleep, and I was not drinking coffee close to bed. But here's the thing. I changed out caffeine for green tea. So I went to caffeinated green tea to decaffeinated green tea. And here's the thing is that green tea has flavonoids. It's called EGCG. I'm trying to remember the name. And it has been shown to inhibit estrogen-induced breast cancer cells. So you do want to drink at least 2 to 3 cups per day. Replace it for your caffeine. And another thing, the reason why I recommend green tea, because I have had over the last 2 years an abnormal pap smear and abnormal cells, and knock on wood again, and the results have came back negative for any cancer cells and cervical cancer. I'm so happy about that. But here's the thing, that when you drink green tea, it can help to reduce that. And I noticed when I drink a little bit more green tea that my pap smear has came back normal. And green tea just has that type of effect, that flavonoids, and it's cancer reducing. I'm not saying it's going to prevent cancer, but I just noticed when I started adding more green tea, my pap smear came back normal, which is scary. I'm telling you, from the breast cyst to abnormal pap smear, and also they test for HPV, and that is a human papillomas virus. And that was negative too. So, you know, my OBGYN was kind of concerned if it was that, and it wasn't. So thank God it was not that at all. And it's also helpful if you do have HPV. Green tea has been shown to reduce the HPV virus on your cervix. So you want to look into that. Add it in your daily drinking regimen. Number 5, you want to limit your sugar. Excessive consumption of sugar increases your cortisol, increases your insulin, and it suppresses your immune system. So you don't want that. And it disables the repair of errors in the DNA, which can cause cancer. And it could cause cancer, and if you do have cancer, it can cause the cells to grow much faster. So be mindful of any foods with a high glycemic index, and anything with a high glycemic index, of course, is your candies, your cupcakes, your pastries, your breads, and so forth. It's hidden in so many things, even in fruit juices. You still have to be careful with fruit juices. I actually have a debate. I go back and forth with my son and with other people. They will tell me, Andrea, this is 100% juice, but I tell them that, hey, look. And he said, well, there's no sugar added, and this, that, the other, but you have to still be mindful. Even fruit juices, you have to eliminate the amount because it's still fructose. So it's good in other areas, especially berries. I love berries. Berries is actually good. It has a minimal effect of increasing your insulin. So if you have to have a fruit or anything that is sweet, because I know sometimes it's hard to give up sugar. We love sugar. Sugar is very addicting, as well as caffeine is very addicting. But what you can do is change it out for a couple berries. Any type of berries have been shown to increase your insulin very little because they're on the low glycemic index. And you may want to look that up as well. There's other fruits that are on the low glycemic index, but just do your research on them. But berries, all type of berries, just change it out for your sugar addiction or your sugar cravings. The next one, you want to eat clean. Eat clean, whole foods. And if you just don't know where to start, in the description, I have a free download. It's Eat for Your Hormonal Health. Start there, start somewhere. You want to start eating clean. okay? And specifically, partially plant-based. So how I like to do it, there are certain days that I will eat plant-based, other days that I will eat meat, or maybe 3 days a week I will have 2 servings of meat or 1 serving of meat, and then I will have like a raw vegan meal at dinner time. Now, I'm not saying that you have to become a vegan, but you have to be mindful of how much meat you are eating throughout the day, because your body can become more acid, okay? And here the thing is that there's a lot of antibiotics and growth hormones that are in our meat, especially if you're not choosing organic meats. And let me tell you something, those two are even more dangerous than pesticides and herbicides that are on fruits and vegetables. So when you do eat meat, make sure it is organic, or switch it out for a vegan meal. Just alternate. And also, I want to add, if you must eat meat, make sure it's not fake meat. Yes, make sure it's not fake meat, because I don't eat tempeh. I don't eat soy if I do decide to have a raw vegan meal, because man-made fake meat is still not good. So be mindful of that as well. So number 7, you want to make sure that you are drinking enough water. And what I mean by that, sometimes if I'm active, I like to drink a gallon of water. If you're not active, at least a half a gallon of water will suffice. And what you can do is add some electrolytes in your water and help with that mineral, and if you have any mineral imbalances. So water, drinking enough water helps flush out toxins. It helps with your burned fat efficiently, and it also helps with your kidneys and your liver. So you want to make sure that you are not drinking from plastic bottles, because the BPA can leak into the bottles, and it can leak. It causes even more toxins in the body. So you want to make sure it is filtered. You want to drink from either a mason jar. I have a bunch of mason jars, which is glass, or you want to drink from stainless steel. That is all the tips that I have today. I'm like tongue twisted trying to get this information out and remember everything. If you guys have any question, go ahead and ask them in the comments, and I will answer all of your questions. Don't forget to download the free guide that I have for you. And then also you can be on my mailing list, because when I come out with new programs, I want you to be the first one to hear about it. I am working on a program right now, and it's for 21 days. And it helps to reset everything. It helps you with estrogen. I mean, it's a good program, but it's taking some time. So I want you to be on my email list so I can send you information once that launches. I can send you some recipes and tips and tricks and all that good stuff. So I thank you for saying at the end of the video, be blessed, be fruitful, and have a blessed day.